Hi, I'm Mark Meares, and I am the Associate Vice Chancellor for Corporate and Foundation Relations and Industry Relations and Talent Management. It's a mouthful at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, and I'm really honored to be here with you all today. And I want to thank Chris Bryce from GSK for giving me this opportunity instead of him being up here. That would probably have been better, but our good friends at GSK wanted us to do this. I'd like to sort of divide the discussion into two parts. I sent a couple of days ago when I first met Brian on the phone, I told him about a schematic I'm working on to describe what it's like for a university, a public university, and industry to work together. I sent it to him and he thought it was pretty neat. It's at its very beginning, early stages, so I'd love your feedback. I haven't copyrighted yet or anything, but I wanted to go over that first. Am I not close enough? Oh, there's your glass. And then I want to talk just a little bit about how you guys can help me add the third part of that, which is what we're here today to talk about, which is the triple helix, where we bring in the state government, because every deal that I've done with big business, corporations, has involved the state government in a major way. And I'll explain a little bit of that as we go through. So bear with me on this graphic, and it might be very elementary for some of you, but it's sort of my view of how universities, particularly public universities and corporations, it's going great. It's not always been easy. We have a thing on campuses, as you all well know, you legislators out here, called academic freedom, and it causes some rub. Do we want to sell ourselves down the river to corporate America? And I think that the answer is yes, and there are good reasons, and we both can preserve the integrity of what we're trying to accomplish. So let me see if I can do this, and please bear with me. Okay, yes, so on the left side, I did this for UNC, so I'm being a homer there, Carolina Blue. And on the right side, you have industry. The way my understanding, and the vice chancellors over here, much higher level guys than me, can tell how do we score ourselves. Teaching, research, public service, and how we're helping our state, the economy, the nation. I would hope everybody would agree. That's sort of how we score ourselves. So industry, if I remember correctly, when I used to be on the industry side, their scorecard is profit, growth, sustainability, and market share. I'm sure there's 5 other terms we could use, but it's a different. And so I think that it was Tony that was saying, know yourself. We got to know this in industry. We got to know this. And frankly, it's not always easy because we want so much of each other. What's the culture? What kind of culture does this kind of drivers? As you can see, we have a culture of academic freedom. We reward scholarship. We have open collaboration. People walk around from one lab to another lab. We really value new knowledge, high risk. I'll let you read all that. What's the culture in industry? At least when I was working there, very, very product-driven, customer-focused, return on investment measure, speed to market, very proprietary. Don't want to share a whole lot like this openness over here. Low risk, take the risk out of it as much as possible. My guys love to do risky stuff. Or as some of the industry people have made the mistake of saying to my guys, like to take our money and put it down rat holes. Applied research and self-funding. And then what does success look like? Well, at a university, at a great university, and this is what I think everybody wants, publications, ranking, successful employed students who go out and help America's economy. New knowledge, new ideas, coming up with the beginnings of solving the great problems of the world, doing public good, solutions, and in my case, because I think somebody alluded to our strength in healthcare, patient improvement on the healthcare side. Success within industry, profits, growth, sustainability, a lot of the same things that go with the scorecard, satisfied customers. But they're also interested in solutions. So I have what I call sort of level one collaborations that universities and industry engage in currently that I've learned in my short 15-year experience. The university they give us grants, money to do sponsored programs and research in areas that our guys like to do it, and something might come out of it that will help industry down the line, but it's kind of a toss it over the wall. Give Carolina a grant on this polymer, to work on this polymer, something might come out of it. We do employees, we send them employees. They love our employees. They let us do internships. Continuing education, we have a business school where a lot of them do their executive training. Some of the scientists come in and take a sabbatical. So we do those kind of things. But this is sort of level one. Level two is a more collaborative relationship where, and I think a lot of this was talked about, where we actually share intellectual property with them that we have designed within our university. We give materials, new things that we've created that they could use and vice versa. They give us things that they're using. We share equipment. A lot of equipment at the University of North Carolina, at NC State, and at Duke, we all share, but we also rent it out to industry because we have had the collective power through state money, national money to get some equipment that a lot of industry, particularly the mid-size, can't afford. So it's open to them to use. And so those are some examples of a level two collaboration. And then the last one is what I call worlds collide. And this is a lot of the research campuses that you hear about. And this is a little pattern of the kind of work that my university is doing with Eastman and with GSK now, and trying to do more of these. And this is where we share actual facilities on a university campus, which is pretty much, I don't know, I need to talk to Tony about this, actually being on a campus and not off on a research campus. A lot of universities have created off-site research campuses so they can get around restrictions on academic freedom and sharing of knowledge and all that kind of thing. Well, we actually have scientists from companies embedded on our public university campus in a public building. I hope, are there any North Carolina legislators here? The governor knows about it. Shared employees. Their employees and our employees are one and the same. We both took off our university hat, we took off the industry hat, and we went in a room together and said, we've got to solve this problem together. There's something shared success. What does Carolina want out of this? Carolina wants the greatest students. Carolina still wants their publications because that's how faculty get tenure. Frankly, a lot of my scientists want to win a Nobel Prize. If you people in business can help them win a Nobel Prize and go to the bank and deposit a lot of money at the same time, they are more than happy to work with you. But they've also got to realize that there are things that industry has to offer them besides just money. Industry is really, really good at getting things to market. And frankly, my guys, they want to have impact, but they don't know how to get it to market. And the more they can work with industry, what we have found, and take off their university hat for just a moment, and the same thing goes with corporations. Corporations are now coming to us and saying, we've not done too good on basic research. We're not creating new drugs for pipelines. It's all drying up. And with the economy being what it is, maybe we should look at a little bit of your secret sauce that universities have where there's a little more academic freedom to think broadly and to go down some of those rat holes that they sometimes call them rat holes. But we need a little bit of that, the industry says, to solve our big problem. But we don't need too much of it. And so the things that the struggle for me over the last 5 years has been to make sure that my guys realized they wanted us to do this because there was money and there was maybe industry that helped them get solutions to the marketplace, which is what they really want to solve the problem. Well, they don't care a whole lot about the money, to be quite honest with you. But they do care about solving great problems in the world and seeing their product on the shelf and helping their fellow citizens and helping the economy. And so that's the reason I say it's worlds collide. I don't mean that as a negative. And what I have also found in my short time doing this, the more complex the problems that industry and the universities are trying to solve together, the more collaboration is required and the more willingness there has to be. And I'll give you a real quick example. And Chris, that's the reason I'm here, is that just 1 year ago, we announced a relationship with GSK where they're actually moving their scientists who work on a cure for AIDS, who are trying to come up with a cure for AIDS, because they realize they can't do it by themselves, and that their way of doing it hasn't been effective. And my guys, I have a whole operation on trying to cure AIDS, and they have realized they don't know how to get things to market, and they don't know how to really take that next step. So what we have done is we've mushed them together on campus, scientists side by side, corporate scientists who thinks a little different than an academic scientist, and we believe that kind of diversity will make great things. That's where you have a diversity of approaches, reduced risk for both units, multiple funding structures, and we both can share the kind of success we want to have and preserve what's important to us. And if we get some money at the university level back for it, nobody's complaining, trust me. We'll put it back into the university. And if they get new employees out of this, because we have graduate students working on the projects with industry, we want that. We want our graduate students to work with them. And so we like that kind of relationship. So one more thing, I want to answer your questions. Can I do that, Brian? Okay, so I wanted to bring this back to what would be the third part of that helix. And Brian asked us, what could state governments do through policy and regulation to support these kind of operations? And just a few things. See your university as part of the economic infrastructure of your community. RTP, Research Triangle Park, is a great example of Duke, Carolina, and state creating that with the state governor. It's that one of the things that I can tell you in all the Eastman, the GSK, all the deals I've done, the governor's office has always been there and has said, how can I help? How can I bless this? How can I promote you doing more of this? How can I work with GSK? And the truth of the matter is GSK and Eastman loved it, that the representatives were there, that the governor was there, and that they felt like this was important. The other thing that states can do is they can give us money that encourages to do more of this. They can give us little seed grants to say to a company, if you'll put in $1, we'll put in 50 cents to try to make more of this happen. So those are kind of the three things that I would say have been most helpful, and I'm very, very lucky to be in a state where, frankly, our governing legislatures have been there with us every step of the way, and I think we're going to see great benefits. So thank you.